Welcome to The Deep Dive. We sift through the noise, get you those crucial insights. And today, well, I'm genuinely curious to unpack what's going on with European security. It feels urgent.
It really does. We're looking at a significant escalation, specifically these recent Russian drone incursions into NATO airspace.
Yeah, and our sources for this deep dive are pretty clear, detailed reports on the events themselves, and, importantly, NATO's reaction, which was fast and, quite robust.
Exactly. And our mission today, it isn't just to list facts. We want to really...
European.
They have ripples, don't they?
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The flashpoint. A line was crossed, wasn't it?
Clearly.
Reports say last week, Russian drones, they didn't just nudge the border, they actually went into Polish airspace. And that's described as a direct violation of NATO territory.
And that's key terminology, direct violation.
Right. And for anyone less familiar, violating one NATO member's airspace under Article 5, that's like an attack on all of them. It triggers that whole collective defense idea.
The bedrock of the alliance.
So yeah, definitely not just some minor regional thing.
No, absolutely not. And that's why the stories coming out afterwards are so, strategically interesting. You've got Moscow's version.
Which is?
Their official claim, reportedly, is that the drones were jammed, suggesting it was technical, maybe accidental.
Oops, sorry, defense?
Kind of, trying to defuse it, maybe avoid direct blame. But then you have European leaders pushing back hard, saying it was no accident, period.
Okay, so that's a direct contradiction, jammed versus deliberate.
Exactly. And you have to ask, what's behind those statements? One implies an error, maybe concerning, but an error. The other suggests, a provocation.
A test, perhaps.
Possibly. But the deeper insight, maybe, isn't just finding the absolute truth right now. It's about that strategic ambiguity. Moscow says jamming to sidestep responsibility.
But for NATO?
For NATO, intentional or not, a breach is a breach. They have to respond strongly to keep credibility, to deter it happening again. And that's the real takeaway for understanding this geopolitical chess game.
And just as people were processing the Poland incident, bam, days later, Romania reports the same thing. Russian drones crossing into their skies.
Right. That pattern makes it harder to dismiss as just a one-off technical glitch, doesn't it?
It really does. 2 NATO members, short time frame. It definitely adds to the gravity. It feels more like probing, maybe testing NATO's reaction times or resolve.
It certainly raises that question.
Yep.
And this whole situation, it prompted some incredibly stark language from Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk.
I saw that quote. It really stood out.
Yeah, he warned that Poland is now the closest we've been to open conflict since World War II.
Wow. Just think about that phrasing, since World War II.
Coming from Poland with its history, that carries immense weight. It's not just diplomatic speak. It highlights this deep, almost historical anxiety that these actions stir up.
It really puts the current tension into a much bigger, much scarier context. It reminds you how fragile things can feel.
Absolutely. So given that level of alarm, Tusk's statement, the repeated violations, the obvious question is, what did NATO actually do?
Right. They weren't just going to issue a statement and leave it at that.
No way.
And this is where,